Alrighty guys, I am back. Granted, I just realized there's no music playing right now, but I'm back. I know I missed the whole week. I did not record all last week or release any videos, and that is because I did not take any trades last week. I didn't like how a lot of the stuff that I was looking at played out, so I just stayed out of the markets. And I do think that's one of the problems that I have is staying out too much. But so Sunday, I actually want to apologize. I did not release a video Sunday, and it is Monday going into Tuesday. Today wasn't a good day to record. And then Sunday, I'm just not gonna lie, I was a little bit lazy, and I'm still in the process of moving, so I procrastinated with doing that, to be honest. Now, what do we have on the agenda? So we're gonna break down the trades that I marked up last week, how they played out, what I'm looking for going into this week, and we'll look at the rest of the other pairs, stocks, whatnot, and what I expect to be doing on there, or what I expect to be looking for. Yeah, let's just try and have some fun, listen to some music while breaking this stuff down. I'm gonna try not to make this as long. I might actually get a game of Hearthstone in or something slight. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Hopefully non-copyrighted music. It wasn't copyrighted last time, so we'll see how that plays out. Granted, that was a different YouTube channel, so we'll see. I found a decent playlist, decent video from Baby Gal Gia, YouTube channel, 2,500 subscribers right now. This playlist was posted about 2 months ago, October 29th, 2024, so it's 20 minutes long. I know that does not say Billie Eilish. Is it supposed to be I'm a Piano? What the hell? This don't sound like I'm a Piano. It's not a bad playlist though. Alright, so let's see. Turn this down a little bit. It's throwing me off. Just listen to it. Alright, let's go. So we're gonna start with Euro AUD. I'm taking the headphones off my head. It kind of makes me mess up when I'm thinking, or trying to figure out what I'm gonna say with the music in my ear. All right, next. So we're gonna start with Euro AUD. Reorganize all of this. All right, now on the 4-hour time frame, which is if I'm not mistaken what I was looking for, I do not like this. It did come up. Excuse me. It did come up. I don't remember where it was like last time. I think it was this candle possibly, but it did come up into the same zone, and it definitely did what I said, which was reject right off of here. And obviously it's not here, it's over here. It came up over here, rejected. It could break down. Now, based on the daily time frame, I don't think it's, let me just double check. I think it could have what's an example of it? I think it could have something like what it had here, down for a couple days then shoot up, or I think it could be what it is over here, where it consolidates for 45 days. Obviously not the whole thing consolidation, but it is something that could happen. Now, I don't know, and I don't think this is strong enough to beat this out unless there's some news that I don't know about with this pair. We'll bring the mic a little closer. So I don't think that there's anything that's supposed to come out that would be strong enough to have this zone be strong enough support to push through this resistance. This resistance has been fucking, it has been obeyed. I don't want to go this far back, but it has been obeyed since, let's say, last time it was this high was 2023. So about a year and some change. August 2023. a year and some change, and it's been back up here once. Let's say, which is the first test, but let's say once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. I tried to come up, but didn't. And then this will be the 8th. So I don't really believe this is strong enough to push this upwards. I think possibly this actually could be, again, go with what the market gives us. So don't be, I'm trying not to be stuck in one way. I'm trying to look at it from both perspectives. Honestly, I do believe that this could be a potential short based off of the resistance over here. Obviously, I do think that it'll probably take a few entries before it breaks out. Now, when you look at the monthly time frame, now that I'm looking to the left of it, when you look at the monthly time frame, it has been consolidating in this range for a year and some change, since April. Actually, since April, it's been consolidating in this range. Excuse me, I had to yawn. I just don't believe this is strong enough. I just don't. Unless there's some underlying news behind it. Makes me very skeptical. And when you pull up the weekly, it's the same thing. This candle does give it some indication of upwards right here. Based off, let's see how this candle closes in 3 days, 17 hours. But on the daily, this is giving some indication to the upside. However, when looking at the signals it's giving, it is conflicting a little bit. It's giving sell entries. And then with this candle printed the way it is, and these candles printed, but I cannot ignore this large candle right here. I just can't do it. Alright, we're gonna see. Now, I almost want to put a small trade on, just right here as it is, with a high stop loss, maybe somewhere around here, just to target down here. A small, like when I say small trade, just a test trade, just to itch, just to scratch the itch, you know. But if I'm gonna put a large trade on, I probably feel more comfortable if it breaks down here, comes here, and then comes back up into the zone to then come back down. That's probably, I'd probably feel much more comfortable doing that. Let's see. These arrows kind of get on my nerves. I just realized there's two of them on, that's why. Alright. Yeah, they're not the same. I don't know why I thought they were. Alright, that is what I'd look for on this momentum, or on this pair, excuse me. Alright, next. I realize I still haven't changed the name for anybody who is watching right now. I realize I haven't changed the name. So it's still my old one. I don't even remember what it is. Oh, BKGTS. I do plan to change it when I buy the domain name for the website, because I do want to turn it into a blog, an article, where we discuss analyzing investments and stuff like that. Oh, let's see. Now, this one, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Now, I don't even remember the last time I looked at this one. To be honest with you, I might have skipped over this, but I was completely wrong on this one. It did come back into this area, but it did not go back up. It broke through. Now, if I was a gambling man, which I'm not, but if I were a gambling man, I would bet to the short if it did one thing, came back up into here, and then that's what I'd be looking for, to the upside, and then target the lows. Now it can't be on the daily. I'd have to go down to maybe the hour, something like that, something along those lines for sure. And I would be able to use this one. I'd have to go to the smaller settings or lighter settings. I hate how long it takes. I don't know what I changed recently that makes it take so long. It never used to take this long to load up. But yeah, if it came back up into this range over here, I could definitely get an entry signal over here. It would probably be on the 1 hour. So for this one, there could still be a trade here. Yeah, this is pushing downward, but this candle's looking like it's conflicted itself. When you look at these push downward, but then when you look at the bottom side of the candles, it's like it's reversing. These candles right here, tell me that right here and here tells me that it does not know what it wants to do, really, or at least in this moment it wasn't sure. Candles downwards, candle upwards on the same candle too. So I think I'm gonna just stay out of this for right now, unless it's on the daily. Those would be the only trades that I take, would be on the daily right now. We're already what, 11 minutes in? Damn, time flies when you're yammering. All right, next we're going over this. Now I do somewhat believe I might have missed my opportunity here. I do believe I'm late on this one. If I'm gonna enter to short side, it should have been up here. Cause I think now that I'm looking on the weekly, what's possibly gonna happen is this right here. Not to say that it just follows this, but based off of the pattern, since let's say the first time I did it was here, that was through support, was 2023, May 2023. Came down, came up, down, up, and then when it started making more recent higher highs, here, boom, boom, boom. I think it could be coming back down into this range to then press up past the zone. Now, I just have to keep checking it and not bullshit. So I'm gonna set an alarm for if it can get low here. That's what I was setting an alarm for. It did not do this, so I can remove this. I can either catch it as it goes down, because when you look at it, it is on a weekly, or it is on a large resistance, right? Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Hold on. There it is. It is on a large monthly resistance zone. No, you can't see. Here it is. There you go. It is on a large monthly resistance zone. So something to think about. Oh shit, I'm over here changing the wrong one. Let me see. Alright. I hate how it does this. I'm using OBS right now. Alright, now back to what we were talking about. Let's go. Ethereum. It's been a rough start. No trades taken in the past 14 days. This would have been a good trade right here to take off of this signal. That would have been a good trade, and I think you might have had an even earlier one if you ever decides to load up. Yeah, you would have had an even earlier. That would have been a phenomenal trade with the stop loss. That would have been $72 or 72 Ethereum. That's $72. $72 for a $700 return. That's 1 to 9. That would have been great. Obviously, you would have to know when to take that short, but Just something to think about. So I was right. It did come down. However, I was wrong on it pushing up further after touching this area. Now that I see it broke, excuse me, that was, I don't know what the fuck that was. I did not fart, that was my mouth. But now that I see that it broke this support, I'm gonna delete it, and we are going to use this as the support now. So it broke all the way down here. Now I would not mind looking for some entries, provided that I do see it and feel comfortable with it. I probably won't get an entry up until up here, which will be somewhat late. So let's see what the hour is giving us. I have to fix this, bro. I cannot have it taking so long. Alright, so the hour actually did give us something. Right? Hour did give us something. So I might take that trade. I might have to take that trade. So we're going to move that to... Fuck. I did not mean to do that. Let's go back. I'll go back. That's how you know I have not been on here. I do not remember which one it was. Here it is. Okay. Ethereum. We're gonna put that to trades to close. So much for this. I don't even remember the colors. We're gonna put it on active trades because I'm gonna take this trade. I have to log in, but I'll take that trade. And let's go back to blue. Alright. Now we're gonna go to gold. Let's see. I might just have to go back to the daily because I feel like sometimes I could overcomplicate my process by trying to analyze the full hour as well, knowing that I built myself to feel most comfortable with the daily time frame. Hold on, I'm looking off to the side real quick. I don't even know what music is playing right now, but it just said no non-copyrighted dancehall vlog music. So by the same person. So we're just gonna let that play. I think that I might just have to go back to analyzing stuff on a daily time frame and just use the higher settings since I want to get in earlier. Cause this back and forth right now is just, excuse me, frustrating. It's annoying to say the least. This is what, 1 entry on the daily, 2, 3. This would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would have been 6 entries. That's crazy. So if you would enter here, here, you would have lost that. Next. Go into here, you would have lost that. Next. Here. One of the things that I used to practice was using a 4 hour for the entry, using the daily for the entry, and then the 4 hour for the stop loss. So like here, you wouldn't have caught this until the tail end, so you would have lost this one. But coming back a little bit, you would have caught it here, and stop loss would have been here. So I look for a better zone on the 4 hour. You wouldn't have even taken this trade. it has its pros, to be honest. I'm trying to look for something that's not similar at the same time, but I do know my system do share entries. Alright, I'm getting off topic. This is that ADHD, man. Alright, let's go back to what we was doing. So, I think the last time I was here, I was thinking it was gonna break down, and then, or I was more comfortable re-entering if it broke down, and then coming up it didn't do that, so I didn't enter. That the way I would have taken it around here to target the highs. We'd still be in the trade. We would be at a 1 to 1 point, let's say after spread 1.1, right? Let's just say that's what it would have been. So we would be in the trade profitably. The highest we would have been at would have been a 2 or 1 to 2.28. So, but this is the area that I would have targeted. It's not too late to get in, actually, but I'm not going to. Let's see if it falls below here. The daily would have been a decent entry, and this is where those larger moves come to play. The Bitcoin, I'm not gonna be watching it all that much. Let's see. I just realized I never recorded throughout the week. I did barely check it, if I'm being honest. I barely checked it because I put some of the alarms up there. I had it on my screen throughout the week, but I wasn't on it enough to actively have felt comfortable taking a trade. Every time I take a break and I come back to trading, my first trade is always a loser. So me feeling like that, or me believing that, has always made me very hesitant to take trades. And I apologize if the music selection isn't good. I did not listen to this, so, or at least this section of it. I just hope it's good or decent, moderate, yeah, at least. All right, next, let's see, Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin being in this zone, I could definitely see something playing out here. Honestly, I could see it going up, struggling a little bit, coming back down, shooting back up, and then slowly making its way. All right, we're gonna take this off, but I'm not gonna take the trade. It'll probably be on Ethereum since they mirror each other to some degree. I wish I had some water next to me. I'm hungry. I'm gonna make some food after this. Let me see. I might play a game of Hearthstone, or I might play a PUBG game. Alright. That's why I just opened it up. So it did not break down into this zone. It actually went up further, but I do think that this will be a trade I take. And honestly, I'm moving this up to the top of the list right now. Let me go back to this. Let me start this. Let's see. Oh, which one is this? USD CAD. I should really leave them in their sections. Leave them in their sections. But what I will do is, normally I would use blue for trades, for active trades. Alright, I'm gonna switch this music. Let me put the headphones on so real quick so I can hear it. Alright, I don't think that mix was good, but whatever. Alright, normally I would use green for the identifier, for the bookmark. Excuse me, normally I would use blue. Blue represents patience to me, so that's why I would use it. But we're just gonna go with green for right now. And I think that this is something I would definitely take. Let's see. I'm probably not gonna take this trade. I'd have to keep checking it. I think this was caution for me to look at it. I did not look at it. I used to be to the point where I could just press the down arrow on my keyboard and just scroll through it without having to do any backing or backtracking. Not backtracking. Looking back on the chart, because I did it all on Sunday, so I knew what I was looking for. And the goal is to try and get back to that flow state of trading. Now it's crazy because when you look at this GBP JPY, I think it was probably somewhere around here, literally on the 20, or not 20, the 8th, you get entry signal right here to the downside, and it did exactly with one of the options that I was talking about. From that point, it came back up to into the zone and said, nah, I think I'm gonna go down. Oh, crazy. I'm not looking for anything from here right now. Now that I zoomed out on the daily, it actually kind of does pique my interest a little bit. Always take what the market gives you. Don't try to force it. So if you think that I'm being switchy or wishy-washy or whatever, that is fine. However, take what the market gives you. If you see something else that's like, oh, conflicting with what you initially wanted to happen, then you should at least do your due diligence of analyzing it and see how your original theory could be proved wrong. It could save you some money. With this right here, I was initially just thinking to the downside, but if it somehow did come back in, which it barely touched it, if it did come back into the zone a little bit more, especially with this candle being printed, I would absolutely be interested in a trade to the upside based off of this, depending on where it reprints back up. So maybe not a daily trade, because I would have to add more positions to it, which I'm trying not to do too much of right now, as I get back in the flow of it. So maybe a 4-hour trade is already late. It's already late. I'm sorry. It just is. Let me see. This was a daily trade. Yo, the 4-hour trades are cool. It's just that, god damn. They pretty much match up with the daily. So it's almost like, why would you do that? Unless, you know, you get trades like this where you could completely beat out the daily chart entry signals. Or like this, or like this. Or like this. Or like this. Which is why I eventually started implementing, because I wanted that daily effect, the 8-hour candle. Let's see if it has the same effect. Pretty much. You did get much different entries up there. this is the light settings. I would not take these unless I'm like legit on the 12-hour or the daily. That's the only way I would take these. Because other than that, that shit would make me feel crazy, knowing how light they are. That's why it's in yellow. That's exactly why it's in yellow. You can never be too confident in when it's gonna play off. Where is it? It's 3 losses along the way to the short side. 4 the big one hits. Alright, back to those. I'm gonna go back to the daily. We're gonna keep analyzing daily pair entries. This is even better. Alright. I don't know if you noticed, but you see how fast the other ones loaded up? Those were that's version 1, this is version 2. Let's see. I think that's what I would look for. I'm gonna bookmark this marine. I think I just talked about this one. It's gonna have to come back up here. I'll set an alert for that. Yeah, I think this is the other one I said that I would trade. So we're gonna put that on green. Damn, that is crazy. I said it was gonna push back up. It pushed back up and then started to break down. And I literally, oh my gosh, the candle that it literally got the entry signal on is literally, at least on the 4-hour at least. No, and the daily is exactly where I put the markup. So right now, based off of how I enter, I would have either been at a 2 to 3 or 1 to 2.3, or I would have been at a 1 to 4.5, just based off of this. So when the candle, for me personally, when the candle has no wick on the opposite direction, that's where I put my stop loss, because it allows me to have a higher chance of having a better risk reward ratio. Now, it's kind of crazy. That's exactly where I put the markup at. That's crazy. Alright. Now, I would have known this had I been paying attention. This is 9 in the morning. I wasn't going to catch it, let's just be real. However, could have caught one of these over here. It was close enough. I'm not gonna catch it. I'm not going to. Sucks. Maybe if it broke back up into its own, then I'd feel comfortable. Let's see. Here. Around here is when I would enter. Alright. I'm gonna put an alarm if it starts to move up even a little bit to the side. Nothing. crazy. This one did the same thing. It is starting to come back up actually, so potentially an entry right here. Potentially an entry right here, but it's still gonna stay on the caution. Alright. I apologize if this may be slightly boring. I can understand some annoyance. I just gotta get back into the flow of making videos. And that's exactly why I have the music playing, is because I know that there will be a lot of periods of times where I'm not saying anything because I'm actually trying to be thoughtful in my process, to question what I really think about the markups, the charts, the direction. I don't really pay attention to news. It can be very annoying to have to worry about news every time. If it happens, it happens, but not something I attempt to do. Market's gonna do what the market's gonna do, and when the market does what it's going to do, I take what it gives me. So if the market's gonna go in my direction because of the news, perfect. Right now, I'm not at that point where I am gonna worry about watching the news all day, every day. I'm not in a bunch of active trades. If I was trading stocks, that's a whole different conversation. But at least for forex pairs, it's not that serious. Not right now. But if this was what I did full time, then that's a different conversation. Now, actually, speaking of that, after I get my studio set up, my studio where I plan to take the pictures for the reselling side of the business, you guys should be expecting some videos on those. I'm gonna have to edit those. Which, you know, it is what it is, but it's a part of it. So I'm not seeing anything. I might go back and just use the daily time frame to analyze my pairs. I might honestly do that, because I believe right now this 4 hour time frame is giving me a headache slightly. I'm go back to using the 4 hour, the weekly, and the monthly to analyze, and use the 4 hour for stop loss or to take re-entries, because but on the other hand, using the 4 hour to take the trades when successful could be very, very beneficial. You wouldn't have gotten entries up until here, so that would have been one loss along the way, and then this would have been a good one. Let's see what the 12 hour looks like. Yeah, that's a 12 hour. Similar entries actually. Similar, very similar entries. Wow. Might just use the 12 hour for these examples. So the entry would have been here, which is you know, short of where it would have been for here, but that's the same. We would have had one entry, two entry on here, well, 1 or 2 entries, but you would have one loss, That's the same fucking time frame or same entry. Up here is where it would have started to been a little flawed, because you didn't get an entry until down here, which didn't leave any room. Let's zoom in. So when you zoom in, I feel like this is becoming a back testing session right now, which is that is not the purpose of this video. That would have been a 1 to 2 if you would have taken it. Let's say right here. Yo, I hate when this happens. Here to here would have been a 1 to 1.3. Now, if you would have taken that entry for here, that would have been, still wouldn't have been as good for the 4-hour candles. Yeah, you will have those moments. It is higher. See, right here, same thing. You would have had slightly different entry. You would have had slightly different entry. Same entry here, but slightly different right here. 4-hour might actually be interesting. That's the highest, I think. Let's see. I got a shower, take a nice warm bath after being at the gym. These look like the same entries, to be honest with you. These look like the exact same entries. I think they are the same. They are the same entries. Let me go to the settings. Yeah, it is the same entry. Which one's gonna be the lighter one? This is the heavy. Let's see. That's the week. That's the day. Boom. So that's number 3. Number 3. Where are you at? It just changed. I hope this is actually legitimately non-copyright. Thank you. Please timestamps with song titles. Finally, no more boring songs for our vlogs. Alright, whatever. Alright, so this is gonna be the heavier one. So I'm gonna boom and orange. I don't know what it is, but I really like the orange colorway, orange color scheme with my candles. Boom, right? And then so here we're gonna leave it like that, but we're going to do here. Nah, that's gotta be boom, and then we're gonna have it as what's the settings on this one? It's the day. This is the day. Ooh, I forgot. I gotta lower it to 6 hours. Loading right now. I don't know what. Alright, we're just gonna leave it like this. We're gonna rock out like this. Alright, so this is the other entry signal on the 12-hour. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. What would that look like? It's the same thing. It's one entry loss. And then if you switch, different. Alright. We're gonna rock out like this for now. Alright, back to what I was doing. Got distracted again. My apologies, guys, bro. See, this is why I want to do a live stream. I could see the feedback, and I could tell me, yo, get back to what the fuck we came for. Not this back testing session, testing your fucking settings. Alright, this is normally what I end up actually doing. That's why it takes me so fucking long anyway. It's getting distracted. Alright, so no, I see nothing. Go get some food after this. I'm hungry. Nothing. Nothing that stands out. Oh, actually, maybe some buy signals based off of this monthly candle. Let me see. This one. See, I like this because you would have avoided this and still got in on the same entry. Roughly, same entry. I actually like this playlist, the songs right here. Alright, and the re-entry right here would have been so much better. It's part of the reason why you use the 4 hour anyway. Shit is so conflicting because there's so many benefits and negatives to it too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, nothing really stands out. Not seeing anything. I think that weeks like this, where I'm just not seeing any movement, you know what I can do? I can open this chart up. Actually, I might have it. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up off screen, just to make sure I'm not, you know, exposing. Expose. Where is it? Alchemist scalping room. Here. Let me make sure. There we go. All right. So this is the chart that I have for strictly scalping. Literally tuned, set up for scalping. So this is the daily, 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever, so on and so forth. So I don't like these colors no more. With like the black, that shit gonna have to go. However, what I can do for pairs like this, literally just off the basis of trying to scalp. Boom, boom, boom. These are actually the perfect trending trades, to be honest with you. Like here, what I would probably do if you've seen momentum, so like overall the baseline is trending down, even as it's creeping up, baseline is still flat and then starts to trend down and it's still beneath it, so it barely passed it. So once you start to see the momentum shifting down, what I would do, I had a term for it, but I forgot it, but Bro, it was something related to a fish or some shit. I know there's this thing called a shark fin that some people use, or I think it was like the market maker method. However, it was not that. But you could use, I guess, as a shark fin. Point is, it peaks its head over both of the baselines, or at least one of the baselines, still in between, and then you just wait for entry signals to the downside, depending on the direction. So here, it comes up, it does peak over, but the momentum is still down, so you wait for sells. That would have been a loss. This would have been a win. Down, below the baseline, peaks above, wait for sells. Down, below the baseline, didn't peak back above, so I wouldn't do it. Down, sell, loss, sell, win, kind of. Sell, win, loss. We're gonna go with loss. Next, here, still some refining consolidation zones you would attempt to avoid, like this and this. But when it's trending like this, they're perfect. Like right here, comes below, entry signal, comes below, entry signal, comes below, entry signal. This would have been a loss. This would have been a loss as well. Loss. Great win to make up for all of it. Slight win, break even probably. Loss. We're gonna go with loss. It's loss. It would have been a loss around here. So this would have been a win. This would have been a win if you lost this one. You get my point. But what I was saying is, go down to the 5 minute or 15. Look for entries. Go down to the 5. Yawning again. I could just look for quick scalps. Same thing here. I just realized the music stopped. So you guys are just listening to me. Yay. Here. Right. So this is the 1 minute scalps. I could just look for setups here and kind of figure that out. Or there's another one, I think it's V2, it's version 2. It's the setting is on version 2. I just don't remember which one. I think it's this one. I normally put the heaviest one at the bottom. Yeah, here we are. This is it. I could just wait for 1 minute entries and attempt to trade them this way. Here. This would have been lost. This would have been a great win. Loss. Great win. With this, if the second that shit switches, I switch. Because it's so low on the time frame, this would have been a loss or break even. No, it would have been a loss. This would have been a great win because the way it is, the way the settings are for this, the way I put it, it's like just go with what it tells you, right? For moments like this, you want to avoid these as much as possible because you'll start to rack up your losses. Granted, you will have to let your winners run now. So here, loss, 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 slight win, but loss. Let's go. Loss, win, great win. This would have been a great win. You would have had to get out down here. And then let's go back. I'm gonna close my eyes. My eyes are closed. Alright, let's move forward. These white arrows are what the lighter version looks like. Pull it up. Bro, this shit takes too long. Far too long. Oh, it got the same settings. Okay, great. But the white arrows are what it would look like with the lighter settings. I'm just fast forwarding right now just to see. I forgot I have access to replay mode. I could just do that. Use my fingers. Alright, that's a trade to the upside. That's a loss. So we've now switched. Using something similar to this, switching to what the market gives me is exactly how I was able to flip accounts before. Bro, come on. That's a loss. We're switching. Loss, we're switching, or it's a loss, we're switching. Back here. That's a 1 to 2, so we had 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss. Let's see how this rides. That fucking candle. Wait, isn't this? This is the one that I started to recognize the candle. Like, isn't this the one that I just was saying to attempt to avoid? I'm sure you can begin to understand how it operates. You take profits when you take profits. That's actually what these are. BTP is buy take profits, and STP is sell take profits. So the lighter versions are the caution, and the dark versions, which you can barely see on this chart, is probably where you should take profits at, depending, obviously, it all circumstantial. But I do use that also as an indication of when things might turn around. As you can see, it does somewhat do a decent job sometimes of it, especially the darker ones, whether it's a slight turnaround or a complete turnaround. Alright, back to what I was doing. Oh god, I can't wait to set up my stream and setup, man. Have you guys interact, and I'll be able to read the chat, and you guys will be able to keep me on track. Nothing. What is that looking at? At this point? I'm gonna go back to 1 day. Only just because it makes it easier to analyze. Next. Okay, I could just use the weekly. Ooh, I kind of forgot that the monthly's there as well. I wish I could separate the two of these to make this one lower, but I don't believe that I can. Now this entry signal on the daily is different. Let's go back down to the 8-hour. Alright. this one starts to become much more similar, especially with the higher settings. Let's go back up. Alright. Nothing other than what we spoke about earlier with it popping its head out. Next. Coming on 12:55 a.m. Oh man, dude. I gotta start doing this stuff on Sunday for real. And then this week, during the week, the videos will literally be like 15 minutes as I walk through them. Walk through what I'm seeing, and it should help keep me consistent with getting back on the charts again. Alright, that is things. Hold on. Oh, I forgot about Meta. I said that I would have entered Meta. I believe that might have been on a daily. This is turning out to be a losing trade currently. Granted, I never took it, so. But I did think that, especially with Mr. Lizard Man meeting with Donald Trump and kind of turned out to be Republican, I think that there's a lot more favor going in his way. It's kind of being like another Elon Musk, especially now that they dropped. I seen something earlier. Meta has dropped like some conversation sticker or some shit like that with the transgender stickers. I think that direction with this company right now is not the meta of the name of the company, but I think that's a new meta. I think a lot of companies coming back to, I guess, non-wokeness in a sense. Tesla, Twitter. Granted, Twitter is no longer on the stock, but Tesla, Twitter, and now Facebook. I think that Facebook could have a turnout like Tesla. Granted, it's been on a fucking tear for weeks since 2022. But since the election time period, let's say it's like November-ish, it's been increasing steadily. So, something to think about for sure. See, I just don't like how this is the entry. That's the fucking entry you give me. And this is where I would have these open. Granted, sometimes the stock is what it is. But I'd probably turn on these. I'll have a third one for this one when I clear it out.